The UFC just dropped some crazy fight news, bro. They just confirmed Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3 in Louisiana. Dustin Poirier's retirement fight for the BMF belt. They also just dropped Kamaru Usman versus Jaquan Buckley, UFC Fight Night Atlanta, bro. This one's not that far away. It's in May 2nd, dude. That's like a couple weeks away. They also dropped the co-main event for this fight, and it's straight garbage. We're not talking about this one, but they dropped it. Rafael Fiziev versus Ignacio Bahamodes. Bahamodes gets his chance in the rankings finally, bro. Fiziev gets a chance to fight in Baku, hometown right there. And they also just dropped Gamrot versus Ludovic Klein. Shout outs to Gamrot for taking this fight. Ludovic Klein has a chance to be ranked top 10 if he beats Gamrot. We're going to talk about that one too. But let's start off with Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3 for the BMF belt. I got one thing to say. The BMF belt is so trash. That is like the WWE Championship belt of the UFC. No one cares about this belt. They only made this belt because Jorge Masvidal was literally the moneymaker of the UFC at one point, and they needed him to hold a title so fans would actually, like, you know, casuals actually like look into his fights. But whatever. BMF belt on the line. Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway. Crazy enough, Dustin Poirier didn't even want this fight. He wanted a trilogy against Gaethje because it was 1-1. But Gaethje was like, nah, I don't want to fight Dustin Poirier, and he's been wanting a title shot. Poirier also wanted to introduce Ilia Topuria into the rankings with his retirement fight, but obviously Ilia Topuria might actually fight Islam Makhachev for the belt. But we're gonna talk about that one in another video. But this fight right here is gonna be good, man. Poirier, yes, he's up 2-0 against Max Holloway, but I feel like Max Holloway has a chance to knock out Dustin Poirier. Lighter man skill, and what he did to Gaethje, bro, was crazy enough. And I don't know, man. Old man Poirier, can he pull it through against Max Holloway? This is gonna be a fun fight, bro. I just don't like that the BMF belt is on the line. No one cares about the WWE belt of the UFC, bro. They need to, like, cancel this belt, bro. They need to cancel this belt. Because in reality, Ilia Topuria is supposed to be holding on to this belt because he knocked out Max Holloway. But obviously, the BMF belt wasn't on the line when they fought. This is still a good fight, bro. I'm gonna cry because these are two legends that everyone loves, and nobody wants to see these guys lose. That's just the worst part about this fight. Like, we're gonna see somebody lose, one of our favorites lose, especially if it's Dustin Poirier in his hometown. If he puts the gloves down and loses to Max Holloway, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry like a little kid. But this is still such a good fight, bro. The only thing about it is that this is the headliner, and it's gonna be the headliner, so that means the undercard has to be super stacked, bro. I wanted them to at least put at Pantoja versus KKF, but that you can't have this over the BMF belt, which is sad, but whatever. I'm pretty sure Kai Kara France versus Pantoja is gonna be for like International Fight Week or something. We'll figure that one out pretty soon. But undercard has to be really good. They have to give us at least 3 banger fights. This one's still a good fight, bro, but I need 3 good fights for the undercard. I do not want this card to be stunk up by the prelims, and then we have to wait for the main event for us to even see a good fight. So I want to see at least 3 good fights. I can't like pick off the top of my head who I want to see for this fight card, but still, I can't wait for this fight. We move on. Kamaru Usman versus Jaquan Buckley. This one we kind of already knew because of how the welterweight division was kind of aligned. And we get the fight that we wanted. Jaquan Buckley gets to face Usman. This was going to be a banger fight. I think Buckley is going to beat Usman. I think he's going to beat him by decision. Jaquan Buckley is the most underrated star right now in the UFC, bro. He's one of the most underrated guys in welterweight as well, dude. What this guy has done the last couple years has been insane. He's been on a crazy run right now, and I feel like a win against Usman and another contender can get this guy to the belt. I feel like if he beats Usman, if Ian Gary somehow beats Carlos Prates, because I don't think he's going to beat Carlos Prates, but if Ian Gary beats Carlos Prates, make Ian Gary versus Jaquan Buckley. That was the fight to make for UFC Tampa. And they gave Ian Gary the shot against Shakur Makranov. But make that fight again. Rebook it. Winner gets a title shot. I don't know. But this fight right here. Shoutouts to Usman, though. Shoutouts to Usman. Another battle tester right there, dude. Last fight against Chimaev. And now he's fighting Buckley, dude. This is no joke. Shoutouts to Usman for taking this fight right here. But I can't wait for this fight, dude. I want Buckley to win. This is his time. I really like Buckley. I'm a huge Buckley fan. This guy only talks about grinding and hard work. And this man, I feel like he's on his title run right now. And I feel like he beats Usman. I think he has a chance of knocking out Usman as well. But I'm not gonna underestimate Usman like that. Usman was he was a good champ, bro, at one time. A good champ. Yeah, the competition that he was fighting was doo-doo caca compared to right now that the welterweight division is stacked, but this fight is still gonna be fire. I still can't wait to see this fight. We move on. Rafael Fiziev versus Ignacio Bahamodes. This one right here, I love this fight. I think Bahamodes is gonna beat Fiziev. I think his reach, his leg kicks are way too good for Fiziev, dude. Especially Fiziev. He got dropped nasty by Gaethje, dude. He put up a test against Gaethje, bro. He battled against Gaethje, but I feel like Ignacio Bahamodes, he's young, he's ready, he's hungry, bro. That's one thing about Bahamodes that I love. This man is hungry. He's ready. He's been waiting for a ranked opponent, and if they're giving him Fiziev, bro, I feel like he cooks Fiziev, bro. I feel like he takes him to decision, but I think the way Fiziev's, chin has been, I feel like this is a quick turnaround, bro. It's a little too quick of a turnaround for Fiziev. I got my Chileno getting this one done, bro. I got my Chileno getting this one done. And we got Gamer Gamrot fighting against Ludovic Klein. Gamer Gamrot is not playing any games, bro. This man literally said, give me anybody right now. I want to fight. They're underestimating this guy, and he's ranked 7 in the lightweight division, bro. He's ranked 7 in the lightweight division, bro. This is one guy that if you saw my lightweight video, I did not even put out there because he's not really a top name like that. But Ludovic Klein, if you beat Ludovic Klein and somebody else, maybe your name's right back in there in the title talks for Gamrot. I don't know, lightweight division is still sort of a mess. We might still get the Ilya versus Islam fight, but Charles is in training camp right now. We're going to talk about it in another video that I'm going to make soon. But shoutouts to Gamer Gamrot taking this fight against Ludovic Klein. I think he beats Ludovic Klein, dude. I think he beats Ludovic Klein. Ludovic Klein against Roosevelt Roberts, dude. He looks so bad out there, dude, against Roosevelt Roberts. That Roosevelt Roberts is supposed to be considered trash, and you took him to a decision, bro. I feel like Gamer Gamrot, I feel like he also got robbed by Dan Hooker. I'm going to say that right now. It was a really close fight, but I thought at that moment that Gamrot had won. But still, he's still right there in the rankings, right behind like Dan Hooker. So I think Gamer Gamrot wins this one, bro. But there's so many good fights that the UFC just popped out, bro. I can't wait for this one right here. I'm going to cry to see whoever loses, bro. This one for UFC Atlanta, I got Jaquan Buckley. I got Bahamodes beating Fiziev. And I got Gamrot beating Klein. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I'm JNAPS MMA. Like and subscribe, and I'm out.